Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's our video, we are here as always to break down, react and discuss the latest Rangers game. A Rangers game, by the way, that not only saw a fantastic team performance from every aspect of the game, but also saw the return of the king as Ryan Jack was back in business, and Ryan Jack freaking scored. Oh, I'm not going to make it to the end of this. But in fairness of what was a truly terrific team performance, I'm not just going to spend the entire video speaking about my man Ryan Jack. Maybe about 96% of it. But we'll get to that later on in today's video, because I just want to dive in and give my first initial thoughts and opinions on this game. Because we remember last week we did see a disappointing draw, and again I took a wee bit of flack saying we might be able to use that again as a wee kick up the arse just to ground us and get us firing in all cylinders. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pretty much for the first whistle versus Ross County, that is what we saw. We saw a Rangers team pissed off, getting stuck in the slow start that's haunted us over the last couple of weeks and pained a lot of us in the tickers was blown out the water, because that Rangers team right there is absolutely incredible to watch. And I guess if you look at it from this aspect, this was Steven Gerrard's 150th game as Rangers manager. And what did the players go out and do there for their manager on this special occasion? They went out there and gave us the best of what has been Steven Gerrard's reign in terms of how we play, the high press, the intensity, the togetherness, the working hard, getting stuck in. We had Alfredo Morelos running to fullback numerous times in the game. They gave absolutely everything, and I'm sure a little bit of that was just in a reflection and appreciation to the coaching staff and the manager, who has taken this club from where it was at to where it is, to being able to go out there and play like that. And listen, I know there'll be naysayers out there and people that are trying to play down this result and this performance, say, it was against Ross County, who's near the bottom of the league, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But that right there is just a sign of complete ignorance, because anyone actually paying attention and looking into it will know that this Ross County team has been making it very, very difficult for every team that they've played. This is the same team that went to Easter Road and pumped Hibs 2-0. This is the same team last week that pulled Aberdeen Scants down and rifled them 4-1. And you look at the losses that they've had under Big Yogi since he's been in charge, and it took 2 late goals at the Tony Macaroni to put Ross County away, and it took 2 goals and playing with 9 men versus St Mirren for Ross County to lose that game. So for me, looking at the league position and trying to make excuses to why Rangers were good, that isn't for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is against a very solid, well-working team that's been making it difficult for everyone who's played them. They came to Ibrox full of confidence and we ripped their heart and soul at them, which once again underlines the thing that Gerrard said the second he walked into this door. He wants Ibrox to become a fortress, and that was a fortress of performance for this Rangers team. But you know, son, before we carry on with today's video, as the plums are well and truly plumping right now, a bit of a cheap plug, but in case you are new around here, or if you haven't done so already, if you didn't mind helping the channel out by hitting that subscribe button, it's free, doesn't cost you a penny. We are trying to reach the dream of reaching 55k. Wee bit of symmetry going on right now, so any help if you are new around to the channel, or even if you're a regular viewer, would be greatly appreciated. But something else that would be greatly appreciated is if we just get in to the game recap, or we'll be here all day, ladies and gentlemen. And as we've already alluded to numerous times in today's video, the start from Rangers was absolutely rampant, and there was no question of if we were going to score early. It was simply a question of when and how. And I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the how still hasn't really landed with me, because in the 5th minute of the game, the ball gets switched out to Tavernier, whose ball into the box is back to being immaculate. And full credit to Alfredo Morelos here, by the way. He's big, he's powerful, he does well just to keep the ball in play with the way the defender is O'Aaron, but he does it back into the path of Ryan Kent. But even in saying that, what happens next still doesn't seem plausible, because Ryan Kent does like a scoop header, kind of like I've never seen anything like it. Like, it was like he was dolphin diving in the old Call of Duty, but somehow the looping header goes into the back of the net, and when you see that technique and that aerial prowess, you just sit back and go, wow, he taught Ronaldo everything he knows. All joking and that aside, the technique from Kent was absolutely outstanding. Big Miroslav Klose would have been proud of that header, and I think proud is the perfect word to use, because the way we approached the game to get the lead brilliant. And the way we continued to pile people forward, arguably we put even more people forward after we took the lead, but we were hungry for that second goal. And I think that's summarising how the next highlight kind of breaks down, if I'm honest with you, because in the 14th minute, Ryan Kent is chasing a lost cause. He gets stuck in, wins the ball back to Alfredo Morelos, who tries to slip Kent through. The pass is garbage, but Morelos doesn't admire or get frustrated. He gets stuck in to the defender. He wins the ball back, and Ryan Kent moves it the way because he's offside at this point. Morelos is running through on goal. It's a clumsy challenge from the defender who's trying to get stuck in. Penalty kick. Now, a lot of people was questioning why this wasn't a red card, whilst Aberdeen was a couple of weeks ago and everything, but it's because the defender actually made a play for the boy, tried to nick it, gave the foul away, so there's no double jeopardy in that one. But it's a penalty kick, ladies and gentlemen. Tavernier steps up. Time to get rid of the hoodoo of missing the last penalty, but he steps up, and I'll be honest with you, I absolutely love the skipper. But this penalty is one he'll definitely want back because it was so safe. It was so timid. I think because the way the last penalty was, where he actually knocked it wide, he's tried to be just too safe here and just kind of tap in. Very unlike the conviction that he's been hitting on his other penalties all season long. And I think when you saw his reaction after it was easily saved by Laidlaw, you could tell he was pissed off. And I know there's people talking about, oh, take him off penalties now before he goes doing that spiral, but nah, I think you give him another chance to step up, because the way he reacted after he missed that one, the second gen won't be tapped into the back of the net, ladies and gentlemen. It will be smashed in with everything that he's got. And we've spoken a lot about improvements this season and people taking their game to the next level, and I think the fact that Tavernier responded the way that he did was once again an underline of where he is at as a player. Was he pissed off that he missed the penalty? Absolutely. But did he allow it to negatively affect the rest of his game? Not, people, because he was still bombing forward. He was still getting involved, because 4 minutes after missing the chance to make it 2-0, he almost assisted in making it 2-0 as he's inside the box. He cleverly picks out Ryan Kent, whose first time shot is perfect. It kisses the inside of the post. It hits Laidlaw's arse and it bounces out, people. But that for me was again a wee indication of where Tavernier is a player and how strong he is mentally this season. Now, hopefully you're not getting bored of speaking about Tavernier, because he's heavily involved 10 minutes after that opportunity, where now we've missed a penalty kick, we have hit the inside of the post. This is usually when nippy bum time comes into play, but it's just not in this Rangers team, and it just doesn't bleed over to the fans right now, especially when we're playing as well as this, because the ball gets switched out to Tavernier. He tries a first time volley for 25-30 yards out. It ends up rebounding out for a corner kick. Barisic steps up. His corner is absolutely immaculate, but speaking of immaculate, the best Swedish player to ever play in the Scottish game steps up with an absolute bullet to bury it into the back of the net, and I couldn't be happier for him, because again, to me, he is the best partner for Connor Goldson. I genuinely love them two playing with each other. He's never been in a losing Rangers side in the league. The clean sheet record between them is outstanding, and again, he's a threat from set pieces, and the way he buried that, people, was pure and utter conviction. But there's no time to sit back and admire that header for big Commander Helander, because we need to jump just 5 minutes into the future and speak about what Joe Aribo did to this team, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm really struggling to even put a thought together to explain this goal, because it's nothing short of magic from Joe Aribo. And he had a couple of fantastic moments in the game already, with a couple of fantastic powerful runs, nice wee bits of skill. But this right here is disgusting, and it starts with him just leaving one player for dead and just running away from him. The guy was so far back, he was finishing the game at the weekend versus Aberdeen. It was about the 88th minute. That's how far Joe Aribo left that man in the past. And then the next player comes up and he just tries to kick Aribo in the shins. You go back and look at that. He just comes in, kicks him, but Aribo's just too clever and he's too strong. Nips by him, skips by the next player, and then curls it from the left-hand side right into the bread basket. The only other goal I've really seen like this, by the way, besides his other goal that he scored versus Hibs, was Kane's goal versus, was it Arsenal a couple of years ago when he had that mask on? Remember when he kind of curled it for one side? But for me, the way this one went about and the fact that this one wasn't offside, it just makes it better. Absolute magic for Joe Aribo, and you just sit back and go, oh. And that feeling of having your scants down just admiring Rangers play football was how I spent the next 10 minutes going into half time. And honestly, there is so much to break down in the second half and goals to speak about. I can't even break down individual highlights of how the game went because there was just magic after magic where we were unlucky or forced Laidlaw into another fantastic save. By the way, shout out to him as well, by the way, because he kept that for being a well and true cricket score. The only other highlight that I can think break down and perfectly summarise how we went in to half time was Connor Goldson, long ball to Ryan Kent, who chists it down to Hadji, who's inside the box, but it's fantastically defended by Ross County, and that kind of summarises how the last 10 minutes had went. Brilliant build-up play, magic for Rangers, but either the goalkeeper stepping up or a fantastic block or slide or the post getting in the way. And it's one of the games of football that you'll probably say the half-time came at the wrong time because we were just firing on all cylinders, and it was interesting to see how we were going to come out in the second half. I think all of us were very confident in the result at this point, but we wanted to see more. But Ross County, to credit them, by the way, continued to try and play out for the back. That's a Yogi play style one-on-one. That's what he's trying to install in this team. Did they just park the bus and play absolute negative football? No. Were they defensive? Yes, but they still tried to play, and you saw that over how they started the second half where they kissed the inside of the post and the ball rolled out, like the post in that incident. And also 10 minutes later, by the way, they actually hit the bar. So again, it was shown that they were offering something, and this wasn't a team that just set up there to get walked over. And I think that actually makes this performance and result even better because of how well Ross County played in parts. Really elevates this performance for Rangers. But thankfully, ladies and gentlemen, we did regain the control in the second half. After they hit the post and after they hit the bar, it became the Rangers show again, and we nearly made it 4 after Tavernier's cross comes into the box from the corner. Joe Aribo with a sexy wee flick, and it's once again fantastically saved by Laidlaw. And that is when the changes were made, people, and everyone knew what was going to happen, and everyone knew how I was looking at my TV when I seen Ryan Jack jog on that park. But before we go down the Ryan Jack rabbit hole, can I just re-highlight the fact that we have such strength and depth that we were able to make 4 changes in the game, and those changes were Ryan Jack, Cedric Itten, Jermaine Defoe and Zungu. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about the 65th minute in this game. Just 5 minutes on the park, and already Ryan Jack was sitting with 100% pass ratio. He was already my man of the match at this point. But what does Ryan Jack do? People, is he in there just to find his feet and see the game out and build up his minutes? Nah, that's not what that man is all about. He gets it just like every fan gets it. And he's got the mindset and the intensity of every fan that we wish that we could go out there and play. And if we could ever get on that park, how would we approach it? We'd give everything. That's how that man plays the game. In the 65th minute, you saw him driving forward, being positive. Now, he plays a very good ball to big Cedric here, and Cedric's first touch makes this goal because it's his movement away from the defender. He flicks it into Hadji. Hadji positive, running into the box, the head up. He picks out Ryan Jack, who calmly slots it away with his left foot. And as it's coming out my mouth, people, I can't even control myself and believe that it's true, because at this point it is 4-0 to Rangers and Ryan Jack has freaking scored. Oh my sweet 55. Now, I just want to thank every single person that's watching this video, by the way, because a lot of you guys were just all over social media and tagging me and messaging me and everything like that. Really, I can't explain the feeling of that, because social media gets a lot of negativity, and rightly so, there is negative stuff out there. But the way that that goal went in, and obviously with it being Ryan Jack, with him being the guy and everything that's my favourite player, just the reaction and the interaction between us was absolutely fantastic, people, and it just made my absolute year almost, and we've just started. A fantastic finish for Ryan Jack, 4-0 up. But what I really admired and everything that is, in that game you just saw Ryan Jack score, but we also saw what he brings to this team that has been missing, because 5 minutes after, Ross County are getting the ball down the left hand side, but who sniffs out the danger with a perfectly timed interception to kill that attack? Ryan Jack. And that's why I've sat here on this channel and said how important it is for Ryan Jack to come back to this team, because what he offers this team is not only intensity and demanding everyone to be up here when they play for Rangers. There'll not be anybody walking about the park when he's on the park, but he also sees stuff that the rest of the midfield doesn't see. Defensive awareness was a 10. It was highlighted in there, and it ended up springing up another attack that young Patterson, who was now on the park at this point, by the way, nearly got an assist, and it all started from Ryan Jack's interception. But yet Jacko wasn't done there, because it's his long range effort that eventually forces a corner that, by the way, is fantastically saved by Laidlaw. I don't think he's getting enough credit for that save. It is a wonder save, and eventually the corner comes in, and it's another perfect delivery from your man Barisic, who gets it onto the... It's not a big boy header, I'd say it's more of a kind of crouch placed header for Connor Goldson. The ball goes into the back of the net. Now CB number 1, who's played 141 games under Steven Gerrard's Rangers, who's obviously played 150, which shows you how important he is to the Rangers team, what Gerrard thinks of him, and he capped that off with a fantastic goal. And I'm just sitting back going, Ryan Jack's returned to the team. Ryan Jack scored. New Connor Goldson has scored. Thankfully Tavernier missed that penalty kick, or you wouldn't have seen me for weeks. I'd have been away streaking. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't know how long this video is actually going to be, but I'm skipping a lot of stuff because there was so much magic from this Rangers team in this performance. And we saw Patterson, who looked tremendous, by the way, and I really want to mention him. Sorry if the video is too long, but he was brilliant the way he approached the game. So positive, so quick, very close to grabbing a couple assists. I thought Zungu looked very good. Itten got involved in the game. I think Defoe was a wee bit frustrated because the game just lost a little bit of intensity when he came on the park, and he couldn't really get the service that he wanted to, obviously, around that time. But again, he has had a couple of moments. But by the time the full whistle went, you're seeing a Rangers team give all that, win 5-0. What more could you ask for? So damn proud, so damn happy, and hopefully we take that same attitude and the same pissed off feeling into the next game versus Hibs. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A phenomenal performance, 10 out of 10 for me in every single aspect, and yes, that is including the missed penalty kick from Tavernier. I still thought his performance was up there. If you're talking to man of the matches, Ryan Jack all freaking day. But if I take my heart out of it, it's still Ryan Jack. That's how good he played. But I guess the best argument that you could be made is there was about 7 or 8 players that genuinely would deserve to be named man of the match, and that in itself just says it all. Before I wrap up today's video and hand the reins over to you though, by the way, I just want to give Ryan Kent a special mention, because I don't even know if I've said it in today's video, but there's a lot of people and a lot of negative folk out there saying, oh, he's been terrible for weeks and all that. In the last 3 games, he was man of the match versus Aberdeen. Was he bad versus Motherwell? Yes, it was an off performance. But in the latest game, this one, 2 out of 3, he was up there for man of the match again. Simply outstanding the way he played in this game. So shout out to you Kenticles. Hopefully he can take that versus Hibs. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm officially done and dusted with today's video. Now I just want to hand the reins over to you. I just want to talk to you. I want to read your comments, and I just want to see the happiness and joy. So what is your thoughts and opinions on that phenomenal performance from Rangers, and who was your man of the match? Make sure we get involved down there in the comment section below, and if you have done that, I will be speaking to you very, very shortly. But last up, before we wrap up today's video, there is one last thing that I need to do, and that's give a massive thank you from me to thee for taking your time out to sit here and talk about Rangers things with me. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, all the best, and bye.